I'm expecting a guest this week, and I have a lot of work for that guest to do, so I need to make sure they've got somewhere comfortable to sleep. That means making a custom mattress for the V-berth. Every boat has every berth to be slightly custom. It's just part of the job, something to do. So let's get it done. Alright, I'm getting a little tired, and obviously I did this wrong. So there's a fun thing that when you're doing a pattern plastic, you write something on the face of it. So on this case, I wrote top, V-berth, lower. I mean, it's the bottom side of the mattress, and this face of it is the top facing upwards. So that means that when I cut this foam, this should have been the bottom facing down. So I should have put this upside down so I couldn't read the letters. And as you can tell, it's exactly mirrored to that. I cut it the wrong way. So there we go. Now I need to find a use for all of this foam. Hopefully not just throw it in the trash. And go get another mattress off the wall and start all over again.
We need to do it. You might be lumping it with your head. There, yeah, like that. No, we're sun drying it.
Sun drying it, let it chill.
I do really like the material you chose from the bottom, from my experience of trying to get mold out of fucking fabric.
Yeah, so that's the cheap marine vinyl. So it's only $11 a yard. You can buy that pretty damn cheap. I made Haley and Barry's mattress out of it, but I wanted like actual upholstery fabric on the top, not just vinyl. So yeah.
Did we over?
My cousin's like as tall as me, so it's gonna be interesting, but anyway, he'll be fine. Speaking of, here he is. My kid cousin, Dylan, is here for a bit over a week, and he is a Torontonian who does not leave the city much. In fact, this is the first trip he's done in 5 years and the first time he's ever been to the West Coast. So let's hope he's ready for boat life. Well, nothing else about this berth is ready, but at least it has a mattress and it's pretty cozy. I think this is just about the right thickness because, as you can see, pretty close here. You don't really want to go too thick. And so you get up and you like hit that. It's a little claustrophobic. Also, there is an extra set of pegs right down here. I don't know if you could see those. A little shelf here with some wooden dowlings in it. And so I think if I just find another way to like clip a piece of wood onto here, I'll have an extension. It actually even ties into the door here just a little bit as well. And then the bed will become a single to somewhere between a single and a queen, somewhere in the middle. And you could actually sleep two people into this berth. And then, as is very common with most sailboats, that second berth, that's that bunk one, is almost never occupied. And it ends up storage. So right now I've moved into the V berth and my cousin will be here shortly, and I'm going to give him the other berth because I'm pretty sure this hatch is still leaking. We're not wasting a second. We're getting this city boy down to work. The first thing we're gonna do is some stringers. I need to put a new deck on this boat, but I need a way to attach it to the chunk of old deck, and I also need a way to support the seams between the pieces of plywood, hence stringers. Turns out it's not just my cousin visiting this week, but Ryan has time to commit to the boat again. He's back for more punishment, so it's all hands on deck. A ton of us getting down to work. Lots is getting done this week. Here we are, where the deck is almost ready for plywood. We did some fairing work. You'll notice not every beam is the same thickness throughout, and we do that basically to smooth over the little inconsistencies that come from the shape of the hull meeting the shape of those beams. It's kind of like a little bit of game of 3D geometry here, but basically we just stretch a batten over it and then plane down the high bits, and it kind of works out pretty good. It's a little bit simpler than it sounds. So now that we've sanded over the corners, I just want to lay a little bit of glass right along the beam shelf here, and that's mainly just to close one end to the other. And I've had the bottom half is very sealed together, but the top half isn't. So under extreme force, it could feasibly open up here. And so to keep that from happening, we're just going to glass over it before we lay plywood over top of it. And that's it. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, drip, drip, drip. Tasty. All right, fellas, look at that. You about ready for plywood? That's the next step, basically. I think we gotta do a little bit of prep around that hatch and that port side, but yeah, plywood very soon. Look at that.
Start it tomorrow.
Let's do it tomorrow. But for tonight, cold beer, hot knitter, that's it. In this one. Oh man, look at that.
Yeah, the deflection is like...
Look at these moves. First layer, 3/4 inch. We're gonna go 1/2 inch on top of that, then glass the whole thing in. And already it's very stable. All right, if you need me, I'll be over here. Oh yeah. Oh, it's so nice. Woo! It's ever been for me, I swear to God. Gotta listen to Sublime and you gotta smoke a joint. Another day, another sheet of plywood. We're getting the party started a little bit early today because we don't have as much prep work to do. Ryan's out there doing the first circular saw cuts, and then we're gonna do our rabbit fillets. I'll actually manage to film that this time. Pre-drill our holes, pre-soak it in epoxy, pre-soak the beams in epoxy, splooge, screw, clamp, we're good to go. Move on to the next. Alright, there we go. One flash deck. Yeah, that's pretty dope, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Here comes the palest man in the universe. Let's go. Yeet. All this deck. I'm gonna stare down at you from my deck. Oh, that's nice. Amazing.
Jolly sailor.
Alright, Dylan, how was your first night in a solid blow? It hit, I think, gusts of 35 last night, 35 knots, and you seem to be fine today. How you doing?
When you're swaying in your sleep, it just rocks you,
Yeah?
keeps you going.
Yeah? I suspect Dylan is built different because I was up several times last night. This is the strongest wind I've ever experienced in the summertime, and there's lots of loose bits on my boat currently, so every new noise was something to go check, and I slept in the V-berth, and so I got some notes on that. I need rubber snubber lines on my mooring lines for the mooring because it slams pretty hard, it's pretty loud. That anchor holder, I really need to get that thing off because it's catching the mooring from time to time, and I have my mooring line set kind of tight, but that's because we're in a pretty tight base, so maybe that wouldn't be the case everywhere else, but it certainly is a problem here. And I definitely need some insulation because sleeping in the V-berth is usually the loudest place to sleep, and the wave action there was pretty loud last night. So I'm rocking about 4 hours sleep, which ain't bad for me, but we got a little bit more deck work to do. Hopefully nobody blows off the boat. And that's layer one. We still have another one to go. All right, what a successful day. We have just did Dylan's first ever dive to the bottom. We picked up 3 crabs while we were down there. We're gonna add that to our amazing dinner. I was just like really stoked that this feels like crew for the first time on this boat. You know, I've had my sister visit, but I haven't really had just the boys. We got the boys over here. Here we go. But it's kind of, it's a really small galley, so we have to use these little cutting boards to do prep. So I have my prep cooks over here, just setting everything up, and then I get to just go make burritos and tacos, crab tacos. Let's go.
That should be great.
And that was it for Ryan. So Dylan and I ran down to Victoria and picked up some of the materials we were missing, including some plywood from PJ White's and of course a ton of fiberglass to coat everything in. We'll get that done soon, but first let's do the touristy thing and show Dylan Victoria, BC. Welcome to Victoria. We're doing a little touristing, thrifting things for the boat, of course. This ancient fan. I want about 6 of these in the boat at least. But this one needs a little DIY repair, so that's gonna be a fun little side thing for me because I need more shit to fix. So I had a comment a little while ago asking why I wasn't using an impact. And I said usually we don't use impacts because stainless and brass screws are quite breakable, and these impacts will shred them pretty easily. It's very easy to snap stainless screws. The trick is getting the number 10 that's threaded all the way to the top. Don't touch those deck screw ones. If you're gonna get stainless, these number 10 ones, they stand up a little bit better, and you have to pre-drill every single one. So you don't put anything in that's not already pre-drilled and push down into place. They're not for pulling. It's not like when you're building a deck and you can just ram them in and they do a bunch of work. They literally just hold it in place while the glue dries. That's pretty much all these stainless screws do. And I've spent about $500 on screws to do this deck. So, yeah, there's a few of them in there. And that's it. A stupendous amount of work, all thanks to Ryan and Dylan, who were visiting all week and busted their absolute balls to get this done. This deck is amazing. I am over the moon. I cannot wait to have it glassed, faired, and painted, and to load my motorcycle onto the back of it and sail off into the sunset. It's going to be amazing. But in the meantime, I'll settle for a coat of epoxy and some beautiful whales at sunset. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.